Probably wondering why I'm smiling. I'm smiling because all of those executive orders that Trump's been writing, and there's a lot of them, if they've got anything at all to do with budget, guess what, folks? No need to be scared. They're not legal. They're unconstitutional. Same thing with trying to get rid of birthright status in this country. You'd have to amend the Constitution. The executive branch of government has zero control over budget. Once Congress sets a budget, that money must be spent. And there's precedence for that. Under Richard Nixon, he had a problem with part of the budget. Wasn't a lot of money, about 50 grand. Congress said, no way. He had no authority. This is what they budgeted, and this is what was going to be done. So when you're thinking that he's going to deplete NIH, he can't. When you're thinking he's going to fire all the federal inspectors generals, he can't. In fact, there's a law that says that if he wants to fire even one of them, it has to be for cause and with a minimum of 30 days notice to Congress. So we got rules. Anyone who gets upset over what he's done, hey, that's your problem. But meanwhile, everyone should be working. And he cannot stop foreign aid. First of all, it's unconstitutional. Second of all, it's stupidity. We wield soft power by being nice to as many countries as we can. It's like charity, only it rewards us with trade. We don't give folks money. We make their lives hard. We just drive them into the Chinese hands. And the Chinese are willing to take up the slack. They'll go anywhere. And they'll provide comfort. They didn't call it the Silk Road for nothing. They're not out there in Africa for nothing. They're making friends and getting products and helping them, and that pays back. And that's what we've been doing with foreign aid ever since we've had a foreign policy. Sure, it would be nice if you didn't give the money to despots, or if you did give money to despots, you said it didn't go to them directly. You had to see returns in terms of equal rights for their people. And then you could give them a little extra. But basically, foreign policy pays off. So I'm not so sure you can cut those strings either. And I'm not sure you can cut any budgeting strings because that's congressional. Fact that Congress is quiet, I don't know. Right now, it looks like they're mired down in Robert Kennedy Jr.'s confirmation. I hope they don't stay mired for long. Too many folks have said that it would be a tragedy to put Robert Kennedy in charge of Health and Human Services. Just like it would be a tragedy to confirm Tulsi Gabbard. She doesn't have any qualifications. In Kennedy's case, he has qualifications that make him a definite harm to human life. Everyone says don't confirm them, and don't confirm Kash Patel either for the FBI. I have no idea what motivates the Republican Party at this point. It is made up of so many factions. And are they all going to pull together, even though they know what they're doing isn't right? Or will the center step forward and claim the majority? If they do, that's good, because then we've got some pragmatism and people can work together. It's a shame that two extremes are running two parties when we need the large middle, just like we need the large middle class. In Hawley's favor, the senator from Missouri, he's looking to help labor, and I'm glad, because labor needs a help. They need to have the right to unionize, and that's one of the issues that Trump ran on. But he seems to be unable to focus on issues that would help the middle class and working people. And he also seems unable to speak the truth. It is a tragedy what happened this week with the loss of that plane and helicopter. So many talented ice skaters, and they collided with a helicopter. Trump's response? It must have been DEI. Does he need a scapegoat for everything? I was told probably 15, 20 years ago by my friend who was high up in the Pentagon that very honestly, helicopter pilots don't get enough training. So it's very possible this was human error, and it'll probably come out when they do the investigations. Cold comfort to all the families of all those lost. But what we don't need is somebody who's ready to scapegoat any topic that comes to his head just so he can be heard. And the truth is obscured. He's gone after immigrants, that he's done. And I'm sorry, because it looks like there's a lot of labor that is going into hiding right now. The Florida Republicans are going against DeSantis. They don't like the idea that their immigrants are going to be targeted because it means there's nobody there to pick the oranges. And in their resort community, that's already suffering from lack of labor. Here in New York, they're proud that they picked up about 1,000 people, many of them citizens who've just been profiled, or Native Americans who've also been profiled. When we've all learned that we don't have an immigration problem at the border at this point in time. It ended under Biden. But hey, if you can scapegoat a group, that's what makes Trump happy. He likes scapegoating. And so he went after the immigrants. And once again, he'll be separating families and doing the unthinkable. And what will happen? We'll have a labor shortage. It's already happening for no reason. But this is what he does. He creates problems where there aren't any. So, unless you find that you can impeach him for being unconstitutional in so many instances, you're going to have to bear with him and his lies and his scapegoating and his hatreds of so many groups. It's a pity because America is made up of over 165 nationalities, I'm sure. And here in New York, we all get along. So it's unfortunate to have a commander-in-chief who really doesn't like people at all, except the billionaire group and other wannabe authoritarians. But once again, if he breaks the law, he's not immune from prosecution or from impeachment.